What up, though, Libra? It's Miss AJ here with your March Tarotscope, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to be doing intuitive reads. So let's jump right into it. I have 3 cards out for you. It is Perspective, Confusion, and Take the First Step. So jumping right in, Venus is in retrograde and Venus rules your sign. So you're definitely being affected by this particular retrograde. It's also in Aries, which is the opposite of your actual sun sign. And it's your kind of like evil twin. And Aries comes in and kind of implodes a little bit when it comes to Libra energy, because Libra is about partnership, it's about love, it's about peace and harmony, being ruled by Venus. And Aries is all about that opposite life. It is about aggression, drive, ambition, instinction, and moving very quickly and bold and direct, and it's fire. And so it's also about standing up autonomously for yourself. It is much the I where you are the we, the partnership. And so with Venus being in retrograde this month, for you specifically, you can feel a little bit out of balance, right? You can feel confused, which is somewhat also a very normal thing for you when it comes to your own self-concept. That's where that indecisiveness comes a lot of times with Libra, but it's so much other energy around you that you are partnered with that typically allows that to kind of balance out. You're off your equilibrium this month. And the reason why you feel confused instead of just indecisive is because the pause of your own self-concept is being reviewed. This has been a theme for a couple of the signs. Perspective. And it is about the trifecta of yourself, how you view yourself, how the world views you, and how that comes together within a context of partnership. Your sign just moved out of the South Node, and your own self-concept, depending upon where the chart, your Libra energy is at in your chart, has been up for review, right? A lot of Libra rising especially, has showed up in the world in a much different place. And kind of getting out of that energy and kind of getting a footing over how the last 18 months has felt, and kind of seeing like, okay, this is the direction I'm supposed to go, to kind of get kind of halted in your tracks this month. It can cause some frustration, especially with Aries, because it makes you want to be aggressive. It makes you not want to be the peacemaker. And honestly, that's really what the universe is asking for you, where it's a last kind of like result of stepping out of the South Node, moving out of your sign. It's kind of like your SAT, well, not your SAT, it's kind of like your bar association, which is very appropriate because Libra rules in the tarot chart is the justice, it's the scales. So it's really, did you really learn the lessons that you have embraced over the last 18 months and kind of accepted? But do you really love it? Is it really, are you falling back into some of your old ways of being in, identifying yourself through other people, or not letting go of a certain situation or life cycle or business, or you still got one toe in on something that you're hanging on to partnership wise, or that makes you feel stable within a concept of partnership, because you can't, it's a easier mode for you, right? It's easier to be in partnership. It's easier to kind of be gulfed in with another person versus you having to stand up to autonomously for yourself. And that's what the last 18 month cycle is. So Venus comes in kind of like, yo, we told you to be bold. We told you to take the first step. We told you that this is the direction that you're going through. So the review, the rewind, the reassessing is, how have you kept a little bit of those codependency situations or those places that you aren't 100% like, I can't completely let this go because I feel so much safer in partnership. And this isn't about you not being able to be in partnership, but it's about you being autonomous in partnership, right? You don't want to necessarily completely lose yourself within that. And sometimes the universe brings it up, especially with eclipse season, all of the retrograde seasons, is what you say you were about and what you've learned about standing up for yourself, not people pleasing, not, giving in on your boundaries, being able to understand that I love partnership, but I also can be autonomous in that. Is that in a context of what you have really stood on? Once again, this energy, as it is for a lot of different signs, are you actually going to walk the walk? Are you really going to do the work? Are you really going to move forward in really owning yourself? Whether it's owning your own responsibility for yourself, understanding that it is okay for you to take care of yourself and be embodied in that energy. That feeling is one side of the scale that allows the partnership side of the scale to be able to feel good for you, right? It's not necessarily not being in partnership. That's who you are. But it's not about not being able to be a complete person within that partnership. I remember I used to talk about this concept of love that I call Swiss cheese love, where you are consistently putting, one piece of cheese over another piece of cheese and everybody's trying to fill their holes up with other people. And that can happen very easily with Libra in partnership. But this is about being whole, actually single. Single, the other definition of single outside of a relationship status is whole and complete. I am a whole and complete unit within myself, and I can function and I can serve that self. And I can also be okay with being just with that self while in a partnership, right? But you have to take the steps again after assessing what you're still holding on to, toxic ways, relationships that aren't thriving, anything in a context of partnership, business, money, or relational needs to be able to sever itself if it is coming just from a place of codependency and a place that I just don't know if I can really stand on my own. Because then it becomes a place that you're using. And that's manipulative, which we all can have that energy. But it's also not serving your higher purpose and your higher self because there's something greater and there's so much more. You just need to take the first step towards that. So it's a very review month for you. Take the emotions and the energies and the insights that come up and proceed accordingly, especially after all of the retrogrades kind of fizzle out in April. And then move forward into your greatness. Blessings.